I was dragged into darkness and saw what no one should ever witness. Brothers and sisters, listen carefully. I never imagined I would say this, but what I experienced changed my life forever. I was in a place of torment, a realm of unimaginable suffering, and what I heard there left me breathless. The songs I had once loved, the music that played in every corner of my life, were being used for something sinister. Demons themselves were using them as weapons to torment lost souls. That moment shattered everything I thought I knew. But before I explain what happened, let me tell you how I got there. My name is Daniel. I was born and raised in an environment that seemed normal on the surface, but underneath, it was leading me into a deep abyss. I had no real relationship with God. To me, music, money, parties, and power were the only things that mattered. I thought I was in control of my life. I believed that success was defined by how much influence and wealth I could accumulate. But I never realized that every choice I made was dragging me closer to an unseen reality, a reality darker than I could have ever imagined. At 15, my life took a drastic turn. I grew up in a neighborhood where temptation was around every corner. Fast money seemed like the only way to move forward. I wanted recognition. I craved respect. And I was willing to do anything to get it. It started small, harmless deals, minor risks. But soon, I saw that there was a faster way. A way that promised power and wealth without limits. Drugs. What seemed like a simple way to make money quickly became an obsession. By 20, I was already well known in my city, controlling groups, expanding influence, living recklessly without consequence. At least, that's what I thought. I had everything: money, power, freedom to go wherever I please. Yet, no matter how much I gained, my soul felt empty. At night, when the music faded, when the high wore off, I was left alone with a silence that terrified me. I tried to drown it out with more money, more women, more distractions. But nothing filled the void. Deep inside, I was restless. I ignored the thought of God, assuming He had no concern for someone like me. I believed I had all the time in the world. That if I ever needed to change, I could do it later. I couldn't have been more wrong. Everything took a darker turn when I turned 22. That was the year I met someone who introduced me to things I never fully understood. A friend, let's call him Marcus, introduced me to a new kind of music. It was different. The lyrics were strange, almost hypnotic. The melodies felt eerie, unsettling. At first, I brushed it off, but the more I listened, the more it began to change me. I became more aggressive, more disconnected from the things that once mattered, even my own family. Marcus talked about symbols and hidden knowledge. He claimed there were forces that could offer protection, power, and influence. I laughed at first. But as time passed, curiosity consumed me. He showed me tattoos, ancient markings that supposedly held spiritual power. If you wear these, he told me, nothing can touch you. What started as a joke became an obsession. I researched, read forbidden books, watched obscure videos, dived deeper into things I had no business exploring. I told myself it was just for fun, but deep down, I knew I was playing with fire. As my life spiraled into chaos, I became reckless. Conflicts escalated, my paranoia grew, and my addictions worsened. I started taking stronger substances to escape the uneasiness creeping into my soul. Yet, nothing silenced the fear that lurked in the background. Then, one night, everything changed. I was at Marcus's house, as usual, listening to music, using substances, discussing our next move. It was a normal night, until the atmosphere shifted. We played a song that I had never heard before. The rhythm was strange, the melody unsettling. Even though I couldn't understand the lyrics, something about it felt deeply wrong. A heavy weight pressed against my chest. I felt like something invisible was pushing down on me, suffocating me. I tried to shake it off, blaming it on the drugs. But then, a name came into my mind. A name I hadn't thought about in years. Jesus. I didn't know why, but his name filled my thoughts. It was like an unstoppable force breaking into every corner of my mind. A conviction gripped my soul. I turned to Marcus and said, "I don't know what's happening, but I feel like we need to change. This is all wrong." He laughed, dismissing me. "Relax, bro. You're just tripping." But I couldn't relax. The weight on my chest grew heavier. An urgency I couldn't explain consumed me. I stumbled outside, desperate for air. The streets were empty. The silence was deafening. Under the glow of a flickering streetlight, I whispered something I never thought I would say. "I love Jesus." I repeated it over and over, not fully understanding why. I wasn't even sure if I believed it. And then, time stopped. A force beyond my understanding pushed me to my knees. A chilling wind surrounded me, and suddenly, I wasn't there anymore. I was somewhere else. A tunnel of shadows. A place where pain was alive. Where voices whispered, mocked, and condemned me. "This is what you deserve," they said. Terror gripped me. I realized where I was. I was being dragged into hell. I will never forget what I saw. The darkness wasn't just emptiness, it was a force, consuming everything. Laughter echoed, twisted figures loomed in the distance. Chains rattled as tormented souls were pulled deeper into the abyss. And then, I heard it. Music. A song I had once enjoyed. But now, it was laced with screams, twisted into something demonic. I understood at that moment, what I thought was harmless entertainment had always been a gateway. My choices had led me here. Step by step. And just when I thought all hope was lost, a light shattered the darkness. A presence unlike anything I had ever known. A love so powerful that even the demons trembled. Jesus had come for me. He looked at me, not with judgment, but with deep, unfathomable love. "Daniel," he said, "I never left you. I was always waiting for you to return." At that moment, I broke. I fell to my knees, sobbing. "Lord, I don't deserve you. Please, forgive me." He reached out, placed his hand on my shoulder, and in an instant, every chain that bound me was shattered. When I opened my eyes, I was in a hospital bed. Alive. And forever changed. This is my testimony. And if you are hearing this, it is not by chance. Jesus is calling you. Before it's too late. Will you answer?